Jared.
We just got chastised by a child. Yes. It was awesome. Jared's child.
Welcome to another edition of Road Trippin. I'm Allie Clifton. He's Channing Frye. Richard Jefferson. You know that. And
do we? What's his name?
What's his name? You tell us his name.
Dudley.
You tell us his name.
Ever since July 14th, they've been knowing my name a little bit more with the Lakers. I'll tell you that. That's one thing. Hey, I'll tell you that. I can't go nowhere in peace.
Oh, man.
You love it, though.
I do. I do. I've been wanting this.
Yeah.
I've been playing on young teams.
Yeah.
For the last 7, 8. I've been the oldest guy.
Yeah.
On every team I played the last 3 or 4 years. So it's good to be here in LA. It's I got a story about Richard Jefferson when I was in Phoenix.
Oh, dear. Let's go.
Getting DMPs. He was playing for Cleveland. They beat us. We were hanging out. Nightcap. Can't tell you where we were at, but we were out. And he was like, man, just stay in shape. Wait for your turn. I'll come back around for you. You'll be on a playoff team. And here we are, 6, 7 years later.
Come on, right?
Here we are. It's right. It's a true story.
But this, even as a vet to another vet, you can give encouragement.
Yes.
I had people give me encouragement just saying, like, hey, listen, stay. I was in Utah. Right, so Golden State, they turned a corner, but then I went to Utah. We were trash.
Right.
Dallas a little bit, and then I obviously came. But Dallas, we were a playoff team. But it was like, dude, you gotta keep your head down.
Keep it.
You know what's crazy? I got that speech from Cleveland and got traded to Cleveland that same year. Hey, they walloped us in Orlando, and I was like, man, this sucks. Like, we're so talented. Like, if you put names on that list, we should have been easy playoffs. Right?
Where?
And just in Orlando.
You out your mind.
Victor Oladipo. Tobias, Vooch. Elfrid Payton, Fournier.
No, but you're talking about guys that were
Aaron Gordon, like that.
But you had guys that were like 3 years before they were ready. Now, you
still
look at the
to
names
compete,
now,
though. Yeah.
But at the time, there was a lot of guys trying to get them contracts.
Oh, man. But anyways, so they walloped us. So we went. Obviously, there's only one place to go in Orlando. Rocco's Tacos. What's up? Hook your boy up. So we went out after that, and Richard's like, dude, come back to the hotel, meet the guys. I was like, y'all beat the out of us by 50. I don't want to go over there. So I went over there anyways. It's near the crib, right? Got a free ride. And it was like, they're like, man, just keep your head, obviously same thing. Like, keep working out, stay in shape. You never know, you might be on a team. And like on trade day, my agent was like, you're either going to Cleveland or you're going to the Clippers. And I was like, well, damn, I don't know Cleveland. What's the weather like? And they were like,
awful.
It's snowing.
It
literally was snowing. And they were like, I was like, what's the weather like in LA? They were like, 77 and sunny. I said,
I know you wanted LA.
I gotta be honest with you. When you got traded to Cleveland, I was not happy about it.
None of us were. I wasn't.
Ohio girl, had been with the team for a couple of years already, and they traded Anderson Varejao for Channing Frye. Like, Andy was like the face of the franchise.
I could see that.
It was sad. Like, I think I should have cheered.
Y'all forgot about him now, huh?
He was perfect for him.
Nobody
he was perfect.
loves Cleveland. I have my own beer in Cleveland.
Do you?
No,
I did.
No.
Short sale. It blew up. Sorry. Sibling revelry. Holla at your boy.
Hey, man.
Holla at your boy.
Like
Get the Fry PA.
Is this kind of like a homecoming?
It is.
Right? I mean, you played with the Clippers.
Stop it. That was my worst experience. Not just going to the Clippers. It was my worst year of my career, and you thought it was going to be my best because I got traded from Phoenix to Clippers, championship pedigree, was hurt the whole time. Had a riffraff between Doc Rivers. I think he's a phenomenal coach, but we had our little problems of like just being honest of how it is, and that happened, and our team, as you saw, kind of blew up in the playoffs. And so that's the 1 year. I went from there actually to Milwaukee at that time. When you went to Milwaukee, it was like, hey, this is it.
It's purgatory.
I called him. This is why it's so funny. I called Richard Jefferson because he was just there. I'm like, yo, hey, how is it about Milwaukee? Jay Kidd, I want to ask advice. And that's what people understand. The NBA is like a brotherhood. And so you got to call people, and obviously your reputation is everything. For RJ being a good vet, he's like, hey, man, our Coach Kidd's a good coach. You do what he says, just play the role. And that's exactly what I did. I played the role. We made the playoffs. They were the worst team in the league at that year. I was the oldest player on that team at 30, 31.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
What are you now, 40,
and now you're
34, young 34.
Reunited.
Huh?
Now you're reunited with Kidd.
Reunited with Kidd. I mean, it's just a small circle. You get it. You do stuff like that. This show, he calls me to do this show. I can't say no to this guy.
He thought it was a
Can we
damn phone interview. That's disrespectful.
Can we please talk about?
We got 16 different lights here.
I'll show you the text, too.
Yeah, can we please talk about it?
Hey, Jared, you free to do road tripping? Yeah, I said, no problem. Yeah, 12 o'clock. or I said between 12 and 3. I said, you know, I got to work out with the Lakers. When she could have just thrown in.
He did not say that.
He could have thrown in. I said, you know, I got to work out.
Look.
He could have said, hey, it's right next to the facility.
Right next to the facility.
He didn't say that. I said, hey, put me down around 2 o'clock. He's like, all right, cool. Hey, are we still on? I said, yeah, just call me.
Yeah, I said it's right.
Yeah. He said, bro, so you know what? I was like, man.
Said it's right. I said it is that spectrum. So being that he's on the Lakers, I assume that he would know.
No, he just got here. He's been here 5 minutes.
He's had one
I thought he was a local guy.
But hey, as a professional, I said, hey, I'll come right now. I was literally in my house, took my son. You know how everyone knows about athletes. You take the afternoon nap. Is the most crucial.
You understand? I'm waiting for my afternoon nap. As soon as this is over, it's nap time.
I need no naps.
These are my guys. I said, yo, I race right here in traffic.
You did when we were on the phone. You were like,
dipping.
Get the keys. Grab the keys.
Let's go.
Let's get the keys.
Now I'm here. Now I'm here drinking wine.
I appreciate you. Feeling good. Free wine. You get a wine and a bottle to go.
So,
yes.
Jared, like, your name has come up a few times.
Yes.
Your name has come up. I remember.
You're a Twitter bully.
I remember texting Channing and just being like, yo, stop arguing with crazy people. Stop getting into Twitter arguments.
Okay.
So, you know, we had JR on here a little bit ago, and we were talking about like changing the role and being a vet and like how things can come full circle. And an individual that we don't need to name mentioned your name in defense of somebody else.
Yes.
In defense of somebody else, of Carmelo. Also threw a couple other names in there.
Right.
And, you know, when you see this and you're like, yo, what did I do? You're like, I ain't done
casualty.
I was like, I've just been sitting over here like playing my role, being hard, playing hard, doing all the vet stuff, and all of a sudden you just get thrown under the bus. The bus gets reversed, run over you again.
Did it hit you?
Right.
Like what? Like what was your thing when people were kind of like, oh well, you know, Carmelo's better than Jared. He should be able to. And it's just like that's not how this league works.
That's not how, you know, and people don't understand it. For one, I think Carmelo. I'm actually an honest person. I'd tell you if I think Carmelo shouldn't be in the league. He should be, but there's a certain role you have to play later in the career, and that's one thing that he struggled with the last couple of years. Now, when it comes to dealing with this guy about responding to me, I wasn't going to say anything. Now, when you play for the Lakers, it's different from me playing from Brooklyn, Phoenix. I used to respond to everybody.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I play with LeBron James, Anthony Davis. The brand's bigger than what I'm not trying to take away from the brand.
Yeah.
So for me, I wasn't going to respond. But he said my name 3 times, okay? 3 times, all right? He said my name 3 times in the interview. And then you got ESPN picking up balls. Like, you got over 1 million people, and now you have to get involved. Because for me is, after basketball, I'm going to be in this media. I'm going to be a general manager, coach. So I got to stand out. And then I'm trying to teach young fella, hey, listen, man. For one, it's my 13th year. I done played over 800 games. Now, I know what my role is. Sometimes it might not even to play. Hey, I might have to hold down the locker room. Yeah. They don't see what happens in that one. And so you can't take away from a vet. What it is this is on Carmelo. This is on Carmelo to be able to show these general managers. I got to show. I'm in a minimum. So for me being a minimum player right now, I got to show to be able to get another year. And sometimes it might be mentoring Kyle Kuzma. I might not even have to score a bucket. Now, I expect to score and play well, but it might be, hey, how can I help his development? And that's where certain star players, where it's hard to adjust. I think the best we've seen is D. Wade going to the 6th man. Now you see him working out with guys. And so I'll respond if need be, and I try to tend not to, but this guy.
Well, then Channing
well,
Channing jumped in.
Because here, and let me say this. If they would have said, like, in my 14 years, I played with a lot of people, right? And I've had a lot of great friends. And some guys I respect as players, some guys I respect as people, some guys I respect, like, just because they're grind, even if it was selfish. But when it came to you, I was like,
protective.
I kind of felt a certain way.
Come on, man.
And they made fun of me.
Yes.
Because, look, I love my Cleveland guys, right? But they made fun of me because I said, hey, one of my favorite teams was that 2010 team.
Yes.
Right? Where we were picked, I think we were picked 10th. Right? Because they made that trade for Shaq. Amari got back from his eye thing. Like, they didn't know who I was. They didn't know what Robin was going to do. They didn't know you. And we, like, kind of grinded out. We were doing videos. Steve was the first one to do the videos
One
on
of the
the
most
bus.
fun years, for sure.
For sure.
Yes.
DJ Bamboozle was
Yes.
trash.
Wait, is that a real name?
That's my best friend. He's now he's actually in Paris DJ now, but back then he was his first gig.
Garbage.
He was terrible. Now
He's so
now he's
terrible.
worldwide.
He's right.
But he got so many. But listen,
this
so
is how
for
the
me,
go ahead.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I felt like, you know, here's what happens. When I argue, let's talk about the statement, right? His statement was incorrect. And I felt like if you're going to make a statement about Melo, you don't need to include anybody else in the league because they've earned it. I don't care if this dude doesn't play. Somebody sees something, let that man, you don't know what his parents have sacrificed for him. You don't know what he's sacrificed. If you're in the NBA or you're trying to get to NBA, much respect to you, whether I like you or not. Much respect to you. So for me, and being that I know you, I felt like that was a personal hit. My response, right, had nothing to do with his agenda or, you know, his mental health or any of that.
And that's tricky now because you get the mental health. Now, if you attack him, you know what I'm saying? Now it's over. You're done. You're done.
No.
Right?
I completely disagree.
Up next on Road Trippin'.
Once you start tearing people down,
Facts.
once you start pulling people down
Right.
in
It's
order
fair
to
game.
lift someone else up, oh, then you're f***ing fair game.
Right.
So this is what happened. Channing defended you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he started going at Channing, and then I start standing up like, all right, Richard, calm down. Like, Richard,
Because I felt
this
like,
is,
here's my thing.
I don't get into arguments to talk. I get into them to end them, right?
Right.
Like, that's not one of my things. And so, like, my biggest thing is like, look, no, once you open yourself up, if you want to have an intelligent conversation about, I believe this person should be this, blah, blah, blah. But once you start tearing people down,
Facts.
once you start pulling people down
Right.
in
It's
order
fair
to
game.
lift someone else up, oh, then you're fair game.
Right.
Like, look, at the end of the day, like, yeah.
But if we go at him tough,
No,
that's when
that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. Part of playing in our league in any professional sport is not just being able to handle it physically. It's being able to handle it emotionally.
For sure.
It's being able to handle it mentally. And look, we can sit here and say there are people that are ultra talented, that are crazy talented, but if they don't have the mental capacity to do the 82-game grind,
Right.
then this ain't for them. Now, that doesn't mean that we need to change our league to make it more mentally friendly.
Right.
We should be able to open up conversations about it, and we should be able to talk and try and facilitate a safe space for everyone. But once someone steps outside that boundary,
For
and
sure.
it was like, oh, well, screw this person.
Yes.
This person ain't this person ain't
There
that.
was nothing between the two of you. He literally just threw your name out there.
I've never met that guy. I'm telling you,
Yes.
I never met him. He didn't play a game in the NBA. I didn't play against him in college. So when he said my name the first time, someone like, hey, some guy said something about you. It happens all the time. When
Right.
you get past year 10, 11, you become the old guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's sorry. He's just like, listen, come on. We know how to play a role to keep this thing going longevity. So when I heard this, and then I see the video, and then he's talking about slap someone who says, like, for what this is not about who's better.
Yeah.
Usually, if you look at the best teams, it's the best chemistry, all 5,
Right.
all
Yeah.
10, 15
Everyone
guys.
has a role.
And
Yep.
so the thing about it, here's the thing, is I actually said some stuff about Melo back in the day that I somewhat regret about him not liking his game. But to be honest with you, I want him in the league. Melo's a good player. I think he deserves a nice send-off, and he should be able to play. But that being said, it's like, it's only 350 spots.
Yeah, so my thing is this, and I had the fortune this year of working with Brooklyn. Brooklyn, not expected. Haven't been to the postseason in years. You know, the crazy trade that happened years ago with Kevin Garnett. And then, so I'm, working the games with Brooklyn, and I'm spending a lot of time there, but I'm also watching you and how you're dealing with all of the young players
For
there.
sure.
So Brooklyn was one of the surprise teams this year in the postseason. Right? You were, but no one expected anything. But
Right.
a lot of it had to do with your veteran leadership. And, this is not even to gas you up, but it was just like you said, you were playing a ton. Then they
Right.
were playing Rondé Hollis Jefferson.
Right.
And then maybe they were playing Rodion.
Yes.
Right? So it was like, and you were just like, hey, I'll play. Maybe I won't play. If
sure.
they don't
If
play
you
you
know
for 2
basketball,
weeks, if they don't play you for
put
2
your hands
weeks,
up and say,
you
hey.
show up and come up, be ready. If they weren't playing you, you were the first one to stand up and cheer on the bench and support. And it was like, this is what more teams need. This is what teams are looking for. So the minute like your role got compared to what Carmelo was, I was like, no, you're misguided.
For sure.
You're completely misguided, young guy, young fella. And this is not the first time you've been misguided. And so like that was the issue for me. It was not. There was a lot of truth in what he was saying.
There is.
Right? It's like Carmelo deserves to be in the league. End of statement. You don't need to kill LeBron.
Right.
You don't need to tear you down. And that was the part where it's like, and all of a sudden then the Twitter trolls and all the things start popping up and then everyone wants to talk about it. But at the end of the day, there was some truth to it. Is Carmelo needs to be in the league. That's the end of it. But Carmelo also has to own up to his own responsibilities, which he has, saying basically like, hey, I probably didn't handle a few things the right way in my career the last few years, and now this is why I'm in the position, trying to work my way back. Meanwhile, a veteran like yourself, over the course of your however many years, you've accepted whatever role has been, and it's not, and this is the thing I say, it's not about so much accepting your role, because a lot of people can just be like, fine, it is what it is, but it's accepting your role with enthusiasm.
Yes.
And you accepted your role with enthusiasm, and I watched it all year, so when the Lakers brought you in, I was like, that's what they need. They need a veteran guy that if one day you don't play, next day you're gonna show up in practice, train the same way, then go into a game, not playing, give everything that you have, and then maybe you might not play a week. That's not for every player. Not every player can handle that.
But people don't understand, especially with younger teams. It's a little bit different with older teams, which I've been on my last couple of years, is the veterans, you're a counselor. Hey, when it comes to, you're a counselor to young guys. Hey, you're a financial advisor. You a girlfriend and boyfriend. And so when I'm on,
I felt like Bevmo on the team last year, dog. I was like, what's up?
For sure. So
because listen, nobody. Not to interrupt you, but
go ahead.
on our team,
a
lot of the guys are so. When you're young, you are so singularly focused into. They're gonna give me a contract. I need this. I need to score 20. I say, you don't need to score 20. And he's going to just...
He's just going...
We need to hear his voice.
Oh, yeah. So you don't need to score 20. That's not what we need. That's not what they're looking at. Your 20 on 20 shots is awful for us, and it looks awful. Your 16 on 8 shots is amazing. Your 16 on 10 shots is amazing. Your 16 with 4 assists, that's big money. Because then the next year you may get 18 and 8. Next year you may get 20 and 10, right? And now you're developing. But a lot of these guys I feel like what I've learned over the years is dealing with young teams is these guys are so hyped from junior high, high school, college.
Right.
And they're only in college for 1 year where the coach goes, you're only here for 1 year, here's the ball, go.
Right.
And then it gets a league and it's like, yo, you ain't gonna stop it. You ain't got the ball, like stop it.
I mean,
you don't even know basketball.
I mean, for us, we had 10 guys on 1-year deals. And anytime you know that, it's hard to win that way because, for one, your selfishness comes out and you want to be able to score and be able to put the numbers up. So with D'Angelo, and then you had the whole Kyrie rumors, those started in November, December. Yeah. So we're on the bus. I'm someone, let's talk about everything. Listen, D'Angelo, if Kyrie comes, Kyrie comes. I said, but for you got to worry about yourself to get you a max contract. And how do you get a max contract? Win.
Yeah.
It's about winning. And people say, hey, if he'd have averaged 20 points and we didn't make the playoffs and we were a 9th seed, he might not have got that max. I'm almost guaranteed he would have got the max.
Up next on Road Trippin.
And so they believe that, even though I believe Joel Embiid, it started game 1 with that
the elbow,
vicious elbow
to the face.
And then he gonna laugh about it in the press conference.
Last season in the playoffs, everyone knows the play. I actually remember you were broadcasting, and I was so mad.
I was doing the game. I'm doing the game.
I was so mad.
No, so I'm doing the game, and you get into a couple of tussles, and I was like, this is what I'm talking about, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen.
I was a fan of it. I was a fan of it. I was mad that they threw you out, right?
I should have got thrown out.
Yes, you should have.
No, he shouldn't have.
Yes, you have.
Thrown out?
No.
Here's why. Under high-level scrutiny, in the postseason, they want to kill that.
But the push, no punch. The push.
No, it's a push.
He barely moved him on like 350.
Okay. They know what you're doing because they are old school guys, right?
Right.
Everyone knows what you're doing.
Right.
You're defending your teammates.
For sure.
I mean, you came out of that scuffle and your chest was high and you were
Hey, for one, the coach had me in a headlock. Hey, Kenny. Hey, you know what it was is, because I went to the first row. Jimmy,
That's it. It was the front row.
That's what happened. That's what happened because the
once
kid.
Once it got to the crowd.
Once I saw the kid get
but
up and move.
But here's the thing: is your action didn't send it to the front row. You got pushed,
That's
and
true.
then you pushed.
But how
so that was my argument.
And how they work here, Kiki. Shout out to Kiki Vandeweghe. All the fines I've been getting the last 2-3 years standing for my guys is, it's whoever starts it first. And so they believe that even though I believe Joel Embiid. It started game one with that
the elbow,
vicious elbow
to the face.
And then he gonna laugh about it in the press conference.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go back. No, did he really get him that hard the second time? I don't know. But for one, I'm still thinking about game one. Yeah. We're winning. And then for two, I didn't like how his reaction once he fouled him the way he kind of looked at him. I said, you know what? I got
but this is the thing.
Okay, but Jared Allen doesn't have that personality.
No, but Channing, this is the thing about, and this
you
is
need a vet though.
So true,
right?
Because you need a vet to show you the list of things that led up to this, right? It's like, okay, young fella, you get elbowed in your face. That's fine. You can't allow that to happen
again.
Okay, that's fine. When the guy's cracking jokes on the press conference about it, you can't allow that to happen. And then he does it again. You're like, all right, Jared Allen, move over here. I'm going to show you what you go do in this moment. You let him know.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Hold my White Claw. Let me show you.
White Claw.
Let me show you what I'm about to do. No,
Are you onto the White Claws?
Yeah. No, but you had to show him what needed to be done. We'll introduce you to the White Claw now that you're here.
He does.
Yeah, he's on the White Claw.
I would have got him game two, but I got hurt. Once we won game one, I missed game two. So I was already thinking on game two.
Why did you miss game two?
I had, I think it was my foot.
Oh, you were out.
Yeah, I missed game two. No, and so that's a whole other story. But no, I was thinking like, man, this guy's laughing. And so
it's disrespectful.
What you want is just a hard foul.
Yeah.
So I wanted a hard foul. I didn't want to react to him fouling someone, but I mean,
you did everything that you were supposed to do.
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to do
that. No one else on your team is built like that.
Hey,
no offense.
For sure.
Yeah. No one else on your team is built like that.
Damari, potentially.
But nobody else really.
Damari weighs like
had
185.
Ed Davis.
He was hurt though. He missed.
But that was the thing. There's a lot of guys on your team. When you look at Dinwiddie, when you look at Karis LeVert, you look at D'Angelo, all of these guys, Joe Harris, they were in this position for the first time. And you have to let people know that, look, 7 games in a playoff series is going to be a battle. And it's going to be a test of mental, emotional.
For sure.
There's going to be all that stuff. And if someone's laughing at you after elbowing you in the face, and which really could have hurt you, if you're not going to do anything about it, even if it's a hard foul, then you're going to lose this series. The series is already over.
For sure.
Why is everyone picking on you?
I mean, I wouldn't really say it's picking on me. I would say for me, for one, I wanted to go off what he said. You know you're doing it right when the owner sends you a text after.
Yeah.
So when Joe Tsai took it, hey, Jared, thank you for saying that for a guy. So that's when you know when you're the right when the owner, which is very rare. It doesn't really happen like that.
Yeah, some owners will push players.
And I'll say this, I don't think they're picking on them. If I wanted to beat the Nets, right? If I want to beat the Nets, right? And this is just keeping it a bean.
Keeping it a bean.
Karis LeVert, D'Lo, all you guys are young.
Yep.
And they are very much, they don't know how important each game is
For
yet.
sure not.
And that physicality.
You know who I know knows how important each game is?
Yeah.
The vet.
The vet.
Yes.
So if I can punk the vet, right, it sends a huge message to the rest of them, honestly.
Now, when
we were in the playoffs, we were like, we're going at this dude, right, the score. When the score goes in, whoever he's guarding, we're going at him 5 different times.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now he goes, I have to play defense. I can't worry about scoring. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I play good defense to run the same play again. What's going on? So I think your value was they're worried about you. In all actuality, and this is a compliment and kind of disrespectful, who the is Jared Dudley?
Right, for sure. No.
Yeah. But they're going at you because they know you're that heartbeat of
I was trying to set the tone and say, listen, the playoffs is a totally different level. I hadn't been there in a couple years, but when you,
But you know.
I've been there
so good.
I know, right?
Nice.
I've been there 4 or 5 years out of my 12, 13 years. And so, for one, how they came to the game and their mindset, even though we won game 1, they were happy with game 1. Game 1's gone. So game 2, me and Ed doesn't play, we get blown out.
Yeah.
So already when you get blown out, we're now down going into game 3. So now it's like, oh, we're happy, let's just get one game. And so once we lose game 3, game 4, I come and I mean, Channing and RJ would tell you, I'm a laugh, fun guy. I was all serious game 4. Yeah. And so when we locked it, that's why we came out with the lead. I'm in D'Lo's face, and it's a each possession by possession. And now they'll take these experiences like Steve Nash. We lost game 1 when I was with Channing to Portland. He said, hey, never get too high on a win, never get too low on a loss. Stay even keel, keep your mind right. And so you try to pass down knowledge to these guys where, hey, now they're looking, they had Kyrie, KD.
You remember,
they got to get to the finals
guarding,
now. Now time's clicking. Yeah,
now,
right.
Yeah.
Up next on Road Trippin'.
Can you shoot enough to make AD and LeBron effective?
This guy sat in Cleveland at the end of the bench one game. God. I had heard that he talked to everyone. And one time, as a sideline, I was like observing everything, and I look over, and Channing is talking to a fan on the internet.
Oh my gosh!
He's turned this
no
way.
one else would
the rest of the game's going on. The Channing just over there, and it was like to a point where like they had to just like they were like, hey, who's gonna sit? I was like, Channing can sit next to me. Channing, just sit next to me, and I just let him.
But here's the thing: I can't be in my own head, and we have players. Right? We have players like that, though. No. So we have players like that.
You got to.
They sit and they think about everything in their head. I'm like, let me just say what I think. Boom, done. And I'm in the moment. Right? A lot of things. Yoga's good for you. Right. In the moment type stuff. If you're in the moment, you're gonna most likely make the right decision. If you acknowledge your mistake, boom. Be in the moment, say, hey, that wasn't right, this was right.
You hit a game winner in one of the greatest comebacks in the history of the NBA
in one of the toughest
postseason.
places to win.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. Indiana, the city sucks.
Indiana, why did you like hitting the shot, Channing?
Tell us.
Here's why. At the time, young Channing had a little beef. I don't want to say I hate him.
I remember you told me you hate him because he didn't play you when he first came over. And listen, that's how I know he's lying because listen, I heard this story.
Remember we played Portland? Oh.
He bought the suite and had about 100 tickets there. He shot every 3. He was looking at Nate McMillan the whole game. And I will give Channing one prop. Every big now shoots the 3. Channing, I'm not gonna say he was the first, but he was top 5. When he first came over,
he's not gonna be able to get out the door
because he only made. I don't even think he made a 3 the year before in Portland.
No.
They didn't play
Hey, listen,
he made like over.
You seen that movie, Other Guys?
You're right.
Hey, sometimes you gotta let the peacock fly.
Hey, now that being said, Phoenix was a little more advanced than everyone because of Nash and shooting 3s. And
No. Do you remember what?
Yeah.
You weren't there. Remember we were playing 3-on-3?
Yeah, I was there.
And Robin was guarding me.
Right.
And Alvin goes, Channing, what the are you doing? I'm shooting these bad 2s. He goes, take a step back.
Yep.
And I said, I can shoot this? He goes, shoot the out of that. He said, Alvin goes, I'll let you shoot as many as you're open.
Yep.
I will not take you out for missing. I'll take you out for not shooting.
Yep.
He goes, make 1,000, tell me how many you make, and then we'll go from there. If you don't feel comfortable shooting it, we'll figure something else out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who knows, like maybe 796. But
hey.
And Nicky Wren was with me.
796.
And Amin knows it, right?
Yeah.
Amin, all right?
Yep,
And he was with me too. He picked me up in that old crusty van, right? That was terrible. They signed me, they traded me.
It's so funny because even now I'm at Liquor facility. Dwight Howard's shooting 3s.
What?
JaVale McGee shooting 3.
Now,
are they going to shoot in the game? Are they going to shoot in the game? Probably not.
Probably, no, they should not.
Yes, they should not, right? No, but
No. Dwight. Okay, look. There's different types of footers.
Yes.
There's Channing Frye.
For sure.
Is Dwight making them?
When I saw him,
Stop it.
I will tell you this: every NBA player, I mean, they can shoot the ball. It's different shooting and practice in the game.
Yeah.
It's different when it's NBA talent, when they're getting stunted.
And Channing's a 7'2"
You have to be.
guard. He's a 7'2".
I'm getting really offended that I'm like.
Have you seen him post up since Arizona? No, you haven't.
He didn't even post up in Arizona.
Hey, when the guard switched on him, and be like, "Stay home, stay home."
You know what?
And he would make it. Hell no.
Yeah. He's shooting a turnaround fadeaway.
Hey, listen, Dirk did it. Nobody talks about him. They got his on the court. I do it. What is that? What are you doing? Listen, you know what it is?
This is your brain on
equilibrium
drugs.
is a little off because it gives me
your brain on drugs.
Yeah, this is your brain on drugs.
This is your brain on drugs.
This is a nice Amazon shirt. Amazon, hook me up, boy.
You got it on Amazon.
Hey, but seriously though.
Yeah.
What?
Oh man.
Dude, JD, we had some good years. Now let me ask you this: the Lakers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
the team.
Yeah.
Since I'm on the other side,
Yes.
you guys got a lot of hype.
A lot of hype.
You have a lot of talent. you have a lot of everything except shooting.
What?
I wouldn't say shooting.
Who's your shooters?
No, shooting. Troy Daniels. Now he's more of a,
Stop it.
Wait, were you on Phoenix when
Yeah, I was
in
with
Denver?
Phoenix.
Were you? No, I'm saying, were you on Phoenix when we were talking on this podcast? We were kind of saying that the whole team needs to go down to the D League. after you guys lost by
that was
60?
what Will Barton said that.
Yeah, Will said that.
And I came on.
Y'all was trying to like fight.
And we got at Will Barton.
Yeah. So Troy's like, yeah.
Right.
And I was like, yo, like, what is going on? And apparently, so we record an episode of Road Tripping. It was it was Will Barton, my guy.
that was on your show?
That was on Road Tripping.
First of all, I think Will Barton
we
can
were
go,
killing
by
them.
the way.
Will Barton is nice.
But he's nice. Will is nice.
Will is nice.
Will is nice.
He's
a dude that has never lifted a weight.
Will just doesn't know the business of basketball.
No.
When you're 20 games under 500,
you can't
on
kill
purpose.
Yeah.
And we're losing on purpose. He's talking about send it to guys in G League.
No.
G League.
No, but wait. Y'all lost by like 50 points, like 2 out of 3 games in a row.
First 2
You
games.
don't have to lose on purpose to lose by 50 points. So we was like, oh, they got a bunch
Those
of G
Phoenix
League.
Suns
And he
teams
was like,
are the
man, they need to send
least
all the guys to
talented
G League.
teams in the history
and
of the
Troy
NBA.
Daniels found out. Y'all found out.
yes.
And they was like literally got into a fight.
For
And I was like,
sure.
yo, did Road Tripping really start an NBA fight?
For
And I was like, it
sure.
really did.
It really
We got
did.
that
I'm
power,
kind of
though.
proud.
So you got Troy, Danny Green,
Danny Green. Danny
Danny
Green
Green,
for
yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Guys.
Avery.
So I'm going to say 1.5.
Avery.
You
who?
got Avery Bradley, who can shoot the three.
Here's what I'm going to say.
got Avery
Now,
Bradley?
nothing against these players.
Avery Bradley signed Avery Bradley. Nice little deal.
When you
Listen,
were napping in
stop.
France.
Oh, God.
Listen.
Good old
You got
France.
Jared, who can shoot the three.
Listen.
You got
Kuzma.
Kyle Kuzma.
Listen.
Kuzma, we got to get him
Let's
more
talk
efficient.
playoff
I agree.
experience.
Now, I will say this.
Guys, all this regular season,
Okay.
hoopty
Let's
what?
just get to the postseason.
Doesn't stop it.
Okay.
Avery Bradley, he can go, right? Is he going to sit in the corner and shoot
Gotta stay
threes?
healthy.
No.
Drop 40 pounds.
No.
By the way.
40? He's
40.
only like 6'2".
No way.
Okay.
Drop 40
Troy
pounds.
Daniels. Troy
40.
Daniels.
He made it, maybe.
JD.
It was
In my
like
ear,
post-
producer. We talked about this on the show.
listen.
40
JD.
pounds.
Post-injury.
Guys.
Post-injury.
Okay. So he gained about 10, 15 of
After Memphis, this past summer, he
Dwight
dropped 40
lost
pounds.
about 30.
Yeah, he
he
looks-
more chiseled.
Yes.
JD.
Terminator.
Here's how it's going to be. Danny Green is solidified.
Okay,
Okay,
one.
get that. For when Anthony Davis always
shoot.
can shoot. Now that being said, is
Shooting what?
No,
He can
look
shoot
at
threes.
that. No,
But
listen.
Yes,
for
he
one,
can.
he's 2018 to 20, he's always been automatic.
He's got
Since been in the
mid-range.
league. Now,
Perfect. Okay,
he's now
I'll give
shooting
you
the
that.
3-ball. And I've seen him now three.
He's like a young- he's like a young Channing Frye.
How many
For
is he
sure
shooting?
is.
Stop it.
He's shooting about 3 a game.
3.
Yeah, you
So
have
he
to
makes
now.
1.
You have to,
1 and
right?
3. So that's extra
Okay.
3. Stop it. That's not 3-point shooting.
35% would put him at number 1 on the team last year.
Did you see Kuz with Team USA
Kuz
before he got injured?
No.
Stop it.
Now
Has
we have to
Kuz
shoot.
ever
What
been
are
to
you
the playoffs?
saying? Stop
Who's never
it.
to the playoffs? No.
This is my argument,
No.
though, guys. Everybody talks about what they shoot during the regular season. I've seen a lot of guys during the regular season. You know these lights?
Yeah.
They have an extra like level of light.
For sure.
Right?
I'm
with you.
not-
No, he's right. No, he's
These are
right.
extra
Yeah.
bright.
I'm just struggling
Right?
with
Because
your
we've earned
legit
this.
hate for the Lakers when it comes to
I
I have no
Hey,
hate.
hey.
I'm only coming from a basketball perspective. Here's my only thing with that team. Can you shoot enough to make AD
Space.
and LeBron
Hey,
effective?
it's a fair question.
Because if you can do that, you guys are
It's a fair
unstoppable.
question. It's a fair question. No, it's definitely a fair
Because
question.
okay, let's say you guys basketball-wise play Utah.
Right.
Gobert sits inside.
Right.
Shoot it. And you want to shoot 3?
And that's where you put Anthony Davis to the 5. We spacing.
Yeah.
That's what.
If he's gonna get once he has to go guard it.
That's where. And I
yes.
hear the whole Anthony Davis shit play center. When it comes to winning time,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis at the center is the most unstoppable force.
LeBron
top
at the
5 in the
4,
league.
LeBron at the 4.
You can put LeBron at the 4.
Kuzma at the
Kuzma at the
3.
3.
And my thing is for us is, hey, I'm not worried about offensively. We're going to score. It's defensively when we're the communication and talking and stuff like that. And hey,
You guys are a really
the one
big
thing
team.
you'll say about this year, every team has a flaw. So this is not like the last 3-4 years when you guys are going against Golden State and they added KD. It's
Man,
like, okay,
that
listen here,
sucked.
that's done. Hey, when you guys won that finals, let's be honest.
Do you want to bring that back up?
Hey, when you won the finals, what happened? Y'all was leaving Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes was 1 for 11, clank, white, because you picking poison. Now it's you play the Clippers.
But you know
Clippers
it's
is stacked.
crazy to think how good Harrison.
Very good.
He's so good. And we were like,
But people don't understand.
Hey,
He was
you.
in his 3rd year, guys.
Third year, 4th or 5th option. You
Yeah.
don't touch the ball every time.
No.
You
And we
know how
made
it
him
goes.
touch that ball.
And
You
Harrison-
led.
Hey,
and
do you
Harrison-
remember what Draymond Green had the final game?
Yeah, you killed. He was like 5 from 3.
in the
Do you
first
remember
half.
his?
Yeah.
Do you remember
But you
how
like
many
that, right,
points?
though?
He had
Are you
like
talking about-
28, 11.
Are you talking in
He
game
had
7?
something.
Yeah, he was
That was all in the first half, though.
Real.
We all respect Draymond. We all
yeah.
love Draymond. I'm glad he got paid. You want Draymond scoring 2025.
Yes.
Because that means Steph and Clay and all them less shots. And for one, it feels the crowd, the energy, and people understand.
But
like,
that
hey,
was the moment when Ty got on Braun because he left Draymond open for all those threes. And what happened at halftime? Didn't he go off on him and you guys were what the hell are you doing?
So
Inside info.
this what happened. So like Maurice Spades had been kind of like hitting some shots and he was kind of like, and Bron wanted to take him out. He was like, I don't want another person scoring. Like, because that's what happens. You can let the main guy score,
Right.
but you don't want Maurice Spades or anything.
For sure.
And I was like, hey, and even me, I was like, Bron, I was like, dude, like, I'd rather you be on Draymond. He's like, geez, you guys want me to guard everybody? And I was like, not everybody. No. Just Draymond.
Just Draymond.
Just right now. Yeah.
And that's why you got to have guys like Richard Jefferson. And you got to have guys, David West, Channing Frye. It's point because, for one, as good as Bron is, one of the best of all time, there's another vet that can be able to give you some advice.
Up next on Road Trippin.
People don't know this story about you, right?
Okay.
You were severely obese.
Obese? I was ACC Player of the Year coming out.
Wait, hold on. So
Yes.
people don't know this story about you, right?
Okay.
You were severely obese.
Obese? I was ACC Player of the Year coming out.
Yo,
No, I
speaking
told you
of that, are you going
High
to bring the chin
school.
strap back?
Yo,
Are you
listen,
really
I'm
going to
in
do
the
it?
beard.
I'm in the
Is that
beard right
cornrow
now.
you're in the
Is
beard
this my
about?
beard right now?
Allie,
Listen here, I'm in the
Allie.
LA beard right now.
Whose one's the
Look,
chin
we're
strap?
eating breakfast,
The Puerto Rican
and I was
chin
like,
strap.
dude,
The Puerto Rican chin strap.
nobody knows Jared's story, right? Coming
Yeah.
out of high school,
Yes.
Jared was severely obese.
Like
right?
certified?
Then,
No, because first of all, for a West Coast kid to go to Boston College.
For one, listen.
How did you end up at Boston College?
We're bringing it around. We're bringing it around. We're
Ninth
bringing it
grade,
around.
I was chubby. For
Chubby.
one. Chubbier.
So you have the
Chubbier.
fat gene.
For sure. I mean, I had the baby fat gene, and then, hey, by my junior senior year, 2 state titles, Player of the Year in San Diego. Now, at that time, I didn't have a scholarship because at that time, a tweener was bad. If you were a 3-4, they looked at tweener as a negative. Now it's everyone's a tweener versatile, and so as I did for the go ahead.
You came to U of A,
Came to U of A in a basketball
and we
camp.
played. He wanted to get a scholarship. We were
Got
playing.
MVP of the camp, which was
Lou Olson
no
camp.
good players. no good players. And Lou Olson was just like, you know what? I don't have a spot for you, which they didn't. Arizona was stacked. RJ, Luke Walton, they had Iguodala, Hassan Adams.
Yeah.
If anybody remember Hassan Adams, his
He's a
bounce he had,
monster.
right?
The lefty,
And so
Westchester.
I was like, Lou, a red shirt. He's like, you know what? I was like, you know what, Lou, it's all.
But this was the thing that people don't understand
Yeah.
about Lute Olson. He was the most honest.
For sure.
Like if he
He
wanted
told you no?
Yeah, no. If he wanted you, he wanted you. But if
told
he
me no.
didn't, but he wouldn't do that to you. But that's
Right.
and that's a compliment.
For
Because
sure.
he put you in a better spot. Because what you didn't want is to not play for 2 years.
Right.
Then have another monster
sure.
come in your junior year. You're like, I'm ready to play. Here
Yes.
comes Andre Iguodala. And you was
Right.
like, oh,
No, I appreciate
want
it.
none
Okay, so did that motivate you then?
problems.
So were you leaner your junior and senior year?
I was my junior year. I wasn't. My senior year, I was. Junior, Nate Carter. He went to Oklahoma. He was Player of the Year at San Diego his senior year. Then eventually, hey, I recruited. I was going to go to prep school. Back then, kids from the West Coast, they didn't go to prep school. So I called. I was going to go to South Kent in Connecticut. I'm already graduated. I'm going to go to South Kent. BC had 2 players get kicked off their team in July.
For what?
One was Ryan Sidney, pistol whipped his girlfriend.
yeah, never good. to pistol
Never
whip your
good, and
girlfriend.
one was grades, and actually it was 3. And the number 1 recruit in high school, he went to Minnesota. I forget his name. Got homesick. If you ever been to Boston in that cold weather, that's how it happened to him. So he was gone. So hey, they were begging me when I got there to BC. Like, hey Jared, so I signed in August. I enrolled in school 2 weeks later.
What? You didn't have a deal that
Didn't have no deal to that late. I was like, yo, hey. So I was like, hey, I ain't going to prep school. Went there. And really, the rest, the rest
They
is
don't
history.
know your history. So you
Yeah.
guys led the NCAA in technicals.
We led NCAA technicals my junior year.
Channing told me you did.
I did.
You
I
did?
And then
How
That was
many?
cornrow. That
it was cornrow Dudley.
Cornrow
'cause for
Dudley.
one, you don't know me. See, I used to dunk back then, and so every time I got dunked, I got technical every time. And so our coach, Al Skinner, playing in the NBA, was like, "Hey,
Skinner.
I don't care what you do. If you get a technical, we better be winning by 10 points or more. So all my technicals were strategic. And then the agents came in by my senior year. They said, Jared, no more technicals. Teams don't want to see that. I didn't get one technical my senior year.
Yeah, you was about the business.
Yeah,
You was
about the business. So before, as a kid, you don't know. It's like, you're eating everything, and now you're on a diet. And now you have to eat certain stuff.
you're
And so
on
you
a
got
diet.
to, because late night. Channing Frye, I know at U of A, I know you guys are doing late night. You know
Oh,
how it
we
is?
use late
For
night.
sure.
Roll
I'm not gonna lie.
It's like Zion right now. Zion probably about 2. You seen Zion in Summer
he needs to
League?
get skinny. I don't care what anybody says about Zion.
He will lose.
He needs to lose weight.
What?
He needs to
Hey,
lose
they'll
weight.
be on him, the nutritionist, and you'll see Zion before season. He'll be 20 pounds lighter than you.
Not
He'll
a
be
chance.
ripped. He
Not a
better be.
chance.
He didn't work out all summer. Ask him. You heard him
didn't
talking about
play.
him
He-
and your boy RJ Barrett were talking about Wendy's on this
Frosties with
special.
French-
You win a title in LA, it sets up everything. It sets up everything for one, not even life after basketball, your legacy when it comes to how it is. Like, you look at Derek Fisher, how he's working out, Robert Ory.
Me and Channing would not
Right.
be here right now
Road
had we not
Trippin
won
is-
this championship.
You're drinking wine right now because it's championship right here, man.
Yeah.
And so it sets it up. And so for me, life after basketball,
Yeah.
right?
I'm gonna tell you this: there is no greater feeling.
Right.
You have kids.
Right.
Kids is life.
Number 2.
When you win, nobody ain't gonna tell you. What you gotta say to me? Hold on.
Right.
What you gotta say?
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
you suck. Hey,
And
suck on this $56,000
56.
championship
Okay, boy.
ring.
And I was so
Suck on that.
we were both fortunate to win when we did.
Barbecue chicken the out of your team.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: when I started to get past like my prime and all that stuff, and I
Right.
was like, God, how much would it mean to win a championship, kind of like past your prime at the end,
Damn,
maybe
even more.
play, not play.
4,
It means
25.
a lot more because people don't understand the value that Channing had on Kevin's mentality,
Right.
the value that you'll have on these younger guys' mentality. So you might not necessarily, or I might not necessarily earn it on the court playing
Right.
25 minutes,
Right.
but it's the 82 games, it's the keeping guys in check, it's the holding guys accountable. Those are the things that lead to the success in a team, and that's how, like sometimes how your ring is won and earned.
To see
It's
the
not purely
longevity of
based
the
off of just
season,
playing.
where it's
Yes.
like, listen, guys, we've lost 2, but they're back-to-backs because we've gone Denver, Utah. Everyone does this trip, but then we look at our next 6. Let's win 5 out of these 6. We're back in third place.
So my question to you guys, do you guys pay for a meal in Cleveland when you go back?
yeah. Oh,
We
yeah.
pay for meals, not drinks.
Not drinks, okay. Okay. There you go. Hey,
And honestly, I drink most of my meals anyway. so-
Okay, hey,
You see this body?
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Well, he's still on the first year. I'm on the I had a good run.
Richard is now,
I had a good-
look. Richard didn't look like that the first year. This dude is doing nothing
Look,
but
listen,
upper
lifting.
body lifts.
You know
He's
what?
looking at men's health every day for new workouts.
Hey, no lie.
Me, you know what I'm looking at?
That's what Grant
Cameron
Hill's
has
doing.
10 pounds.
G
Grant
Hill
Hill got shredded.
That's what they do. Like,
Yeah,
they give
dog,
us
listen.
even they want their first year. And after that, hey,
Take testosterone
I think,
implants.
to be honest, I can't wait to take testosterone. But
What?
I'm literally seriously.
like,
Channing,
I'll
can
tell
you
you
let
this.
us all know about your
I'm on
Botox
that.
secret?
I'm on that Wilson Chandler.
I'll do it.
Can we
I
dive
have really
into it?
sweaty. Yeah,
Let
I
me
have
see your
really sweaty
abs. Let's see your abs. Let me see your
There
abs.
is no more
Let me
abs.
see the abs. Let me see the abs. Flex it. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. No,
My part.
Lift up the shirt. Show us your
No,
abs.
dog. This is
Don't make me
This is
come
why
over.
we put it
I'll
on
splash
TV.
It's not me. The car.
It's a white carpet. You
Listen,
can't.
show us your abs. We'll do
No,
it before
dude.
and after.
This is listen.
Let's do it before
This
and
is
after.
not safe for work if I bring this. man.
How are you friends with these guys?
hey,
How are you
hey,
friends?
people understand you have to have guys like this on the team because for one, there's so much emotion this season, stress,
So long.
coaching this, and it's so long. You have someone just to ease the mood.
Yeah.
Someone to crack a
Seriously.
joke, laugh around. Hey, you lose 3 in a row. Who cares?
Yeah.
We're gonna go out. We're gonna
I mean,
have
we
dinner.
care,
Everyone
but
drink some
you- I mean,
wine.
but like-
it happens.
hey,
Sometimes
hey,
you
hey,
lose.
This is what I'll say. This. Wait till you get to the dinners. The dinners are a good time this day.
I'll tell you this.
Dinners are a good
Dinners
time.
are a good time, but the dinners are long.
They're
so-
about 4 to 5 hours. So like plan your night accordingly.
For sure.
just like
For
Come
sure.
on, bro. I gotta cut that down to an hour, bro.
No. It's like he gonna send the text, and you gotta go like the first like 7 or 8 times.
For
and
sure.
Look, the good news is it'll be like Oklahoma City. It'll be in like
Man.
some cities.
Okay.
And it'll be like Oklahoma City or like Milwaukee. We're gonna go to this restaurant.
gonna eat
We're
good.
gonna have the football game on.
San
So you just gotta
Francisco.
go and you just gotta
great.
just
You wanna
chill.
do that.
Because this is the thing, and I will give a compliment to Bron. is it in those moments, he understands that the more I break bread with you, the more I can get on you.
For sure.
The more I break bread with you, the more we get to know each other, the more we have conversation, and I stand by this. Road Trippin was started based off of those dinners because we would sit there, 8 of us, and we would be like, all right, who's the best small forward ever? Who's the best this? Or who's the, and we would just sit there and just talk and drink wine.
Barbershop.
And for, yeah.
No, speaking of that, Kevin McHale.
He say something for you, he's something for you.
So like, we would do all that,
Right.
and you were like, yo, like this is like, okay, maybe we should edit some of it out, but a lot of this is like stuff that I feel like fans would like to hear in a non-controversial way. Like, let's just have fun and shoot the shit. And so a lot of this and this idea was based off of those dinners.
Right.
And like,
And you
the
see a
dinners
lot of
are a
people
great
copy
time.
this idea.
I see it.
Yeah.
You guys are authentic
And-
right here, man.